Wives and Daughters by Elizabeth Gaskell, dramatised in 9 episodes by Barry Campbell, with Catherine Hurlbutt, Angela Pleasance, Tom Wilkinson, Robert Lang and Thelma Whiteley. Part 1, Calf Love.
To begin with the old rigmarole of childhood. In a country there was a shire, and in that shire there was a town, and in that town there was a house, and in that house there lived Dr. Gibson, his daughter Molly, 3 servants and 2 pupils. Mr. Gibson was a widower and seemed likely to remain so. His domestic affections were centred on little Molly, but even to her in their most private moments he did not give way to much expression of his feelings. His most caressing appellation for her was Goosey, and he took a pleasure in bewildering her infant mind with his badinage. Though her papa laughed and joked at her, Molly still took her little griefs and pleasures and poured them into his ears. The child grew to understand her father well, and the two had the most delightful relationship, half banter, half seriousness, but altogether confidential friendship. When Molly was about 8 years old, Mr. Gibson engaged the daughter of a shopkeeper in the town as her daily companion.
Now, Miss Eyre, remember this. Don't teach Molly too much. She must sew and read and write and do her sums, but I want to keep her a child, and if I find more learning desirable for her, I'll see about giving it to her myself. After all, I'm not sure that reading or writing is necessary. Many a good woman gets married with only a cross instead of her name. It's rather a diluting of mother wit to my fancy. But, however, we must yield to the prejudices of society, and so you may teach the child to read.
And so Molly grew up in calm monotony of life, without any greater event than being mislaid one June afternoon while on an outing to Cumnor Towers, on the occasion of the school visitors' day, which was a kind of annual festival in Hollingford.
Why, who is this?
Poor little woman.
Oh, please.
She's lost herself. She belongs to some of the Hollingford people, I've no doubt.
She is overcome by the heat.
Oh, such a heavy bonnet, too. Let me untie it for you, my dear.
I'm Molly Gibson, please. I came here with the Miss Brownings.
Miss Brownings?
The 2 rather large women that Lady Agnes was taking about.
Oh, I dare say she had a number of people in tow. Have you had anything to eat, child, or is it the heat?
I've had nothing to eat and I fell asleep and
Sit still, my dear. We are going to the house, and Clare here shall bring you something to eat before you walk home.
Oh, yes, my lady. Thank you. Look how kind Lady Cuxhaven is. She chose you out this little lunch herself, and now you must try and eat it. Look, here is some bread and cold chicken, a bunch of grapes, and a glass of wine. I can't eat. I've such a headache. Oh, take some grapes. You must eat something. Oh, my head aches so. Oh, dear, how tiresome. You see, I don't know what to do with you here if you don't eat enough to enable you to walk home. And I've been out for these 3 hours, traipsing about the grounds till I'm as tired as can be and missed my lunch and all. Oh, now, you lie back for a few minutes and try to eat some grapes. And I'll wait for you and just be eating a mouthful meanwhile. You sure you don't want this chicken? No, I don't. Delicious. Beautiful fresh bread. Are you quite sure you don't want any? Oh, but you're not eating your grapes. Here, let me. That's much better. Now, if you'll come with me, I'll take you to my room, and you shall lie down on the bed for an hour or 2. Oh, thank you.
Oh, Clare, how is the child now? Well, she's cleared her plate, I see, so there can't be much amiss.
Oh, but please. Poor dear, she's not quite the thing yet. She's got a headache, she says. I'm going to put her down on my bed to see if she can get a little sleep.
Overeaten herself, I suspect.
There now. Lie on the bed That's the way, and rest.
Please, Ma, don't let them go away without me. Please ask somebody to waken me if I go to sleep.
Don't trouble yourself about it, my dear. I'll take care.
Oh, you're so kind to me, and so kind.
Oh, I'm sorry, miss. I'd just come to turn down the bed.
Please, how soon are we going away?
Oh, bless us and save us. Are you one of the Hollingford ladies? Oh, my dear, they're all gone this hour and more.
Oh, dear, what shall I do? The lady they call Clare promised to waken me in time, and Papa will so wonder where I am.
Why, what? Why, I quite forgot you. Now, don't cry. You'll make yourself not fit to be seen. Of course, I must take the consequences of your oversleeping yourself, and if I can't manage to get you back to Hollingford tonight, you shall sleep here, and we'll do our best to send you home tomorrow.
Oh, but Papa!
Well, don't go and make a piece of work about what can't be helped now.
Oh, please don't leave me.
When Molly was nearly 17, a domestic upset brought about the first of the number of changes in her circumstances which go to make up the fabric of my story. It has been mentioned that Mr. Gibson took pupils, and it was one of these, a Mr. Cox, a boy of 19 or so, with brilliant red hair and a tolerably red face, who was responsible for this domestic upheaval. One summer's day, for some reason or other, Mr. Gibson came home unexpectedly. He was crossing the hall, having come in by the garden door, when the kitchen door opened and the girl who was underling in the establishment came quickly into the hall with a note in her hand.
Bethia, what are you doing?
Doing, Mr. Gibson, sir? Why, nothing, sir.
What have you got there? What are you hiding?
Just a note, sir.
A note? What note? Give it to me.
But it's for Miss Molly, sir.
Give it to me.
He said I was to give it into her own hands, and I promised as I would, faithful.
Cook, go and find Miss Molly. Tell her to come here at once.
Shall I?
You shall do nothing but stand there until Miss Molly comes.
Yes, sir.
Why, Papa, whatever is the matter? I did not know that you were home.
Molly, my dear, come here. Now, Bethia, keep your word. Here is Miss Molly. Give her the note.
Indeed, miss, I couldn't help it. Here it is.
Thank you.
That's all, my dear. You needn't read it. Give it to me. That's it. Now tell those who sent you, Bethia, that all letters for Miss Molly are to pass through my hands.
Yes, sir. But, Papa, what is this note?
It's no matter. Now be off with you, Goosey, and go back to where you came from.
Papa, I shall make you tell me who my correspondent is.
We'll see about that by and by. Now, off you go. A love letter, by God. And from Mr. Cox. Oh. Eternal passion. Eyes are lodestars. Dimple marks. Cupid's fingers. Well, who'd have thought the lad was so poetical? Ah, indeed, there's a Shakespeare in the surgery. I'll take it away and put Johnson's dictionary there instead. Well, one comfort, it's obvious that Molly's perfectly innocent. And still, it's an awful worry to begin with lovers so early. Why, she's only just 17, not 17 till July, 16 3/4. Well, she's still a baby. Well, and Mr. Cox, of all people. Still, I'll not be hard on him. I'll just give him a hint. He's quite sharp enough to take it. That's a prescription. Now, let me see. To Master Cox. That master will touch him to the quick. Now, modesty. Verecundiae. 1 dram. Fidelitatis domesticae. 1 dram. Reticentiae. 3 grains. Capiat hanc dosem tardie in aqua pura. Let him take that dose 3 times a day in pure water. R. Gibson. Good. To Edward Cox, Esquire. You'll not like the Master Cox outside. No need to put him to unnecessary shame. Cupid's fingers, indeed. Stupid calf love. Well, I must be about my business. Come in.
May I speak with you, sir?
To be sure. Come in, Mr. Cox. I was rather wanting to talk to you about that bill of Corbyn's. Pray, sit down.
It's about nothing of the kind, sir, that I wanted to see you, sir. And I would rather not sit down. Thank you. It's about that letter, sir. That letter with the insulting prescription, sir, which you sent me this morning.
Insulting prescription? I'm surprised at such a word being applied to any prescription of mine, though, to be sure, patients are sometimes offended at being told the nature of their illnesses, and I dare say they may take offence at the medicines which their cases require.
I did not ask you to prescribe for me.
Oh, no. Then you were not the Master Cox who sent the note through Bethia. Let me tell you, it has cost her her place, and it was a very silly letter into the bargain.
It was not the conduct of a gentleman, sir, to intercept it, and to open it, and to read words never addressed to you, sir.
I believe I was once considered tolerably good-looking, and I dare say I was as great a coxcomb as anyone at 20. But I don't think, even then, that I should have quite believed that all those pretty compliments were addressed to myself.
It was not the conduct of a gentleman, sir. It was
And let me tell you, young man, that what you have done is only excusable in consideration of your youth and extreme ignorance of what are considered the laws of domestic honour. I receive you into my house as a member of the family, and you induce one of my servants, corrupting her with a bribe, I have no doubt.
No, indeed, sir. I never gave her a penny.
Then you should have done. You should always pay those who do your dirty work.
Just now, sir, you called it corrupting with a bribe.
Inducing one of my servants to risk her place without offering her the slightest equivalent by begging her to convey a letter clandestinely to my daughter, a mere child.
Miss Gibson, sir, is nearly 17. I heard you say so only the other day.
A letter which you were unwilling to have seen by her father, who had tacitly trusted to your honour by receiving you as an inmate of his house. Your father's son, I know Major Cox well, ought to have come to me and said out openly, "Mr. Gibson, I love, or fancy that I love,
Sir,
fancy that I love your daughter. I do not think it right to conceal this from you, although unable to earn a penny and with no prospect of an unassisted livelihood even for myself for several years. I shall not say a word about my feelings or fancied feelings to the very young lady herself. That is what your father's son ought to have said. If indeed a couple of grains of reticent silence wouldn't have been better still."
And if I had said, sir, perhaps I ought to have said it. What would have been your answer? Would you have sanctioned my passion, sir?
I should have said, most probably, I will not be certain of my exact words in a supposititious case, that you were a young fool, but not a dishonourable young fool, and I should have told you not to let your thoughts run upon a calf-love until you had magnified it into a passion. And I dare say, to make up for the mortification I should have given you, I might have prescribed your joining the Hollingford Cricket Club, and set you at liberty as often as I could on Saturday afternoons.
Oh, sir.
As it is, I must write to your father's agent in London and ask him to remove you out of my household, repaying the premium, of course, which will enable you to start afresh in some other doctor's surgery.
It will so grieve my father.
I see no other course open. It will give Major Cox some trouble. I shall take care that he is at no extra expense. But what I think will grieve him most is the betrayal of confidence. For I trusted you, Edward, like my own son.
I do love Miss Gibson. Who could help it?
Mr. Wynne, I hope.
His heart is pre-engaged. Mine was free as air till I saw her.
Would it tend to cure your, passion, we'll say, if she wore blue spectacles at mealtimes? I observe you dwell much on the beauty of her eyes.
You are ridiculing my feelings, Mr. Gibson. Do you forget that you yourself were young once?
Well, perhaps I do. Come, Mr. Cox, let's see if we can't make a bargain. You've done a really wrong thing, and I hope you're convinced of it in your heart, or that you will be when the heat of this discussion is over and you come to think a little about it. But I won't lose all respect for your father's son if you will give me your word of honour that as long as you remain a member of my family, pupil, apprentice, what you will, that you won't again try to disclose your passion. You see, I'm careful to take your view of what I should call a mere fancy, by word, writing, look, or acts in any manner whatever to my daughter, or to talk about your feelings to anyone else. You shall remain here. If you cannot give me your word, I must follow out the course I named and write to your father's agent. Well, Mr. Cox.
Mr. Wynne knows all I feel for Miss Gibson, sir. He and I have no secrets from each other.
Well, I suppose he must represent the Reeds.
Read, sir?
You know the story of King Midas's barber?
King Midas? No?
Well, he found out that his royal master had the ears of an ass beneath his curls. So the barber, in default of a Mr. Wynne, went to the reeds that grew on the shore of a neighbouring lake and whispered to them, "King Midas has the ears of an ass." But he repeated it so often that the reeds learnt the words and kept on saying them all day long, till at last the secret was no secret at all. If you keep on telling your tale to Mr. Wynne, are you sure he won't repeat it in his turn?
If I pledge my word as a gentleman, sir, I pledge it for Mr. Wynne as well.
Well, I suppose I must run the risk. But remember how soon a young girl's name may be breathed upon and sullied, and Molly has no mother to advise or protect her.
If you wish it, sir, I'll swear it on the Bible.
Nonsense. As if your word, if it's worth anything, wasn't enough. But we'll shake hands upon it, if you like.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Well, go away and back to your studies.
May I...
Yes, what is it?
May I give Bethiah a crown piece?
No, indeed. You leave Bethiah to me. I hope you won't say another word to her while she's here. And never fear. I shall see that she gets a respectable place when she goes away.
Thank you, sir.
Then Mr. Gibson rang for his horse and went out on the last visits of the day. There were not many surgeons in the county who had so wide a range of practice as he, and he was, of necessity, a great deal from home. And on this soft and pleasant summer evening he felt the absence as a great evil. He was startled at discovering that his little one was fast growing into a woman, and he so much away that he could not guard her as he would have wished. The end of his cogitations was to ride to Hamley House on the following morning. Perhaps the man of all others to whom Mr. Gibson took the most kindly was a certain Squire Hamley. He was imperfectly educated and ignorant on many points, but he was aware of his deficiency and regretted it, in theory. He was awkward and ungainly in society, and so kept out of it as much as possible. And he was obstinate, violent-tempered, and dictatorial in his own immediate circle. On the other side, he was generous and true as steel. The very soul of honour, in fact. He had married a delicate, fine London lady. It was one of those perplexing marriages of which one cannot understand the reasons. Yet they were very happy, though possibly Mrs. Hamley would not have sunk into the condition of a chronic invalid if her husband had cared a little more for her various tastes, or allowed her the companionship of those who did. Mrs. Hamley was a great reader, and had considerable literary taste. She was gentle and sentimental, tender and good. And Mr. Gibson knew there was real secret harm going on all this time that people spoke of her as merely a fanciful invalid. One of Mrs. Hamley's often expressed wishes had been that Molly might come and pay her a visit. Hitherto, Mr. Gibson had always refused this request of hers.
And so you would like Molly to visit me after all, Mr. Gibson?
You may quote against me the proverb, "He that will not when he may, when he will shall have nay," and I shall have no reason to complain, ma'am.
Oh, nonsense. We are only too charmed with the prospect of having young Miss Gibson for a visitor. I only wish Osborne and Roger had been at home. She may find it dull being with old people like the Squire and me from morning till night. Oh, when can she come? I'm beginning to love her already.
She shall come at once, Mrs. Hamley, or at least as soon as is conveniently possible. She knows nothing of the pleasure in store for her, and I'm sure I don't know what feminine preparations she may think necessary, or how long they will take. You'll remember she's a little ignoramus and has had no training in etiquette. Our ways at home are rather rough for a girl, I'm afraid. But I know I could not send her into a kinder atmosphere than this.
Young Miss Gibson, eh? Well, my dear, I am delighted to think of your having such an agreeable companion in the house. Even so, it's as well the lads are at Cambridge. We might have been having a love affair if they had been at home.
Well, and if we had, Squire?
It would not have done. Osborne will have had a first-rate education, as good as any man in the county. He'll have this property, and he's a Hamley of Hamley. Not a family in the shire is as old as we are, or settled on their grounds so well. Osborne may marry when he likes. If Lord Hollingford had a daughter, Osborne would have been as good a match as she could have required. It would never do for him to fall in love with Gibson's daughter. I shouldn't allow it. So it's as well he's out of the way. And as for Roger, he'll have to make his own way and earn his own bread, and I'm afraid he's not getting on very brilliantly at Cambridge. He must not think of falling in love for these 10 years.
Unless he marries a fortune.
No son of mine shall ever marry a wife who is richer than himself with my goodwill. I don't say, but what if Roger is gaining £500 a year by the time he's 30? He shall not choose a wife with £10,000 down, but I do say, if a boy of mine with only £200 a year, which is all Roger will have from us, and that not for a long time, goes and marries a woman with £50,000 to her portion, I'll disown him. It would be just disgusting.
Not if they loved each other, and their whole happiness depended upon their marrying each other.
Pooh. Away with love.
Roger.
Nay, my dear. We loved each other so dearly we should never have been happy with anyone else. But that's a different thing. People aren't like what they were when we were young. All the love nowadays is just silly fancy and sentimental romance, as far as I can see. No, my dear. Where our boys are concerned, away with love, I say.
Oh, by the by, Molly, you're to go to Hamley this afternoon. Mrs. Hamley wants you to go to her for a week or two, and it suits me capitally that you should accept her invitation just now.
Go to Hamley? This afternoon? Papa, you've got some odd reason at the back of your head. Some mystery or something. Oh, please tell me what it is. Go to Hamley for a week or two? Why, I've never been from home before this without you in all my life.
Perhaps not. I don't think you ever walked before you put your feet on the ground. Everything must have a beginning.
Ah, I have it. It has something to do with that letter that was directed to me. That letter you took out of my hands before I could even see the writing of the direction.
You're a witch, Goosey.
Then it had to do with that letter. But if it was a note from Mrs. Hamley, why might I not see it? I have been wondering if you had some plan in your head ever since that day. Thursday, wasn't it? You've gone about in a kind of thoughtful, perplexed way, just like a conspirator. Oh, tell me, Papa, why mightn't I see that note? And why am I to go to Hamley all on a sudden?
Well, would you rather not go?
I don't know. Well, I dare say I shall like it when I have thought a little more about it. I'm so startled by the suddenness of the affair, I haven't yet considered whether I shall like it or not. I shan't like going from you, I know. Why am I to go, Papa?
There are 3 old ladies sitting somewhere and thinking about you just at this very minute. One has a distaff in her hands and is spinning a thread. She has come to a knot in it and is puzzled what to do with it. Her sister has a great pair of scissors in her hands and wants to cut it. But the third plans to undo the knot, and it is she who has decided that you are to go to Hamley. The others are quite convinced by her arguments. So, as the fates have decreed that this visit is to be paid, there is nothing left for you and me but to submit.
That's all nonsense, Papa, and you're only making me more curious to find out this hidden reason.
There is a reason, Molly, and one which I do not wish to give. When I tell you this much, I expect you to be an honourable girl and to try not to even conjecture what the reason may be. much less to put little discoveries together, till very likely you may find out what I want to conceal.
Papa, I won't even think about your reason again. But then I shall have to plague you with another question. I've had no new gown this year, and I've outgrown all my last summer frocks. I've only 3 that I can wear at all.
I wish girls could dress like boys. How is a man to know when his daughter wants clothes? And how is he to rig her out when he finds it out, just when she needs them most and hasn't got them?
Ah, that's the question.
Can't you go to the dressmakers in town? Miss Rose, isn't it? Doesn't she keep ready-made frocks for girls of your age?
Miss Rose? I've never had anything from her in my life. Betty has always made my frocks.
Well, but it seems people consider you as a young woman now. And I suppose you must run up milliner's bills like the rest of your kind. Not that you're to get anything anywhere that you can't pay for down in ready money. Here's a £10 note.
Papa!
Or go to Miss Rose's or Miss anybody's and get what you want at once. The Hamley carriage is to come for you this afternoon, and anything that isn't quite ready can easily be sent by their cart on Saturday, when some other people always come to market. Now, don't thank me. I don't want to have the money spent, and I don't want you to go and leave me. I shall miss you, you know. It's only hard necessity that drives me to send you a visiting, and to throw away £10 on your clothes. There. Now, go away. You're a plague, and I mean to leave off loving you as fast as I can.
Papa, you're getting mysterious again. And though my honourableness is very strong, I won't promise that it shall not yield to my curiosity if you go on hinting at untold secrets.
Now, go away and spend your £10. What did I give it you for but to keep you quiet?
Miss Rose's ready-made resources and Molly's taste combined did not arrive at a very great success. She bought a lilac print, which Betty could make up at home, and Miss Rose persuaded her to order a gay plaid silk, quite the latest fashion in London, which Molly thought would please her father's Scotch blood.
Oh, Molly, that plaid belongs to no clan in existence, a thing any daughter of mine should know by instinct.
Well, it's too late to change it now, Papa. Miss Rose has promised to cut the dress out as soon as she possibly can.
So be it. By the way, I shall be coming over tomorrow to see Mrs. Hamley, so you won't have to wait long before... Well, that can't be the Hamleys' carriage already.
Oh, Papa, I do so wish I wasn't going now the time has come.
Nonsense. Don't let us have any sentiment. Have you got your keys? That's more to the purpose.
Yes, Papa.
And your purse?
Yes, Papa. And Dobson has my box ready for the Hamley coachman.
Well then, allow me to escort you to your carriage. Well, after all this, I'm only where I was when she comes back. At least if that foolish fellow goes on with his imaginating fancy, she'll have to come back sometime, and if he chooses to imagine himself constant, there's still the devil to pay. I wonder any man alive should ever rear a daughter.
Oh, Papa.
Molly cried a little, but checked her tears as soon as she remembered how annoyed her father would have been at the sight of them. It was pleasant driving quickly along in the luxurious carriage through the green lanes. At length, they swung in at the gates of the park and drove up through meadow grass ripening for hay to the old red brick hall, where a respectable servant stood at the door to receive the expected visitor and take her into the drawing-room.
Come in, my dear Miss Gibson. Now, let me look at you. Yes, I am sure we shall be great friends. I like your face, and I'm always guided by first impressions. Give me a kiss, my dear. I meant to have gone and fetched you myself, but the heat oppresses me, and I did not feel up to the exertion. I hope you had a pleasant drive.
Oh, yes, very. Thank you, Mrs. Hamley.
Well, now, I'll take you to your room. I've had you put close to me. I thought you'd like it better. Here, you see? Your bedroom opens out of my sitting room. My own bedroom is through there.
Oh, yes, I see.
I do hope you'll feel at home with us.
I'm sure I will.
Come to the window, my dear. Tell me what you think of the view.
Oh, how fine it is.
I'm so glad you think so. It's one of my favourite views. The flower garden and the meadow just beyond. And over there, you see in the distance, the mere.
Oh.
See how it shimmers silver in the sunlight. Oh, but now let me leave you to arrange yourself, and then you must join me in my sitting room.
Thank you.
Molly hurried to unpack her box and arrange her few clothes in the pretty old-fashioned chest of drawers which was to serve her as a dressing table as well. All the furniture in the room was as old-fashioned and as well preserved as it could be. Molly laid out her white gown, of last year's date and size, upon the bed, ready for the, to her, new operation of dressing for dinner. And having arranged her hair and dress, she opened the connecting door softly and saw Mrs. Hamley lying on the sofa.
Come in, Miss Gibson, don't be shy. Well, now, shall we stay up here, my dear? I think it's pleasanter than down below. And then I shall not have to come upstairs again at dressing time.
I shall like it very much.
Ah, you've got your sewing like a good girl. Now, I don't sew much. I live alone a great deal. You see, both my boys, Osborne and Roger, are at Cambridge, and the squire is out of doors all day long. So I've almost forgotten how to sew. I read a great deal. Do you like reading?
It depends upon the kind of book. I'm afraid I don't like steady reading, as Papa calls it.
But you like poetry? I was sure you did, from your face. Have you read this poem of Mrs. Hemans, From the Forest of Sanctuary?
Well, you see...
Shall I read it aloud to you?
Please, I should like that.
Very well. Leaves have their time to fall, and flowers wither at the north wind's breath, and stars to set. But all, thou hast all seasons for thine own, O death. Day is for mortal care, eve for glad tidings round the joyous hearth. Night all for thee, thou mightiest of the earth. And flowers to wither at the north wind's breath, and stars to set, but all, thou hast all seasons for thine own, O death.
It is very beautiful, but very sad.
Ah, I think I must read you some of Osborne's poetry some day, under seal of secrecy, remember. But I really fancy they're almost as good as Mrs. Hemans.
Mr. Osborne Hamley, does your son write poetry?
Yes, I really think I may say he is a poet. He's a very brilliant, clever young man, and he quite hopes to get a fellowship at Trinity.
Oh.
He says he's sure to be high up among the Wranglers, and that he expects to get one of the Chancellor's medals. That's his likeness, the one hanging against the wall behind you.
I like their faces. I suppose it is so long ago now that I may speak of their likenesses to you as if they were somebody else, may I not?
Oh, certainly. Do tell me just what you think of them, my dear. It will amuse me to compare your impressions with what they really are.
Oh, but I did not mean to guess at their characters. I really could not do it. It would be impertinent if I could. I can only speak about their faces as I see them in the picture.
Well, tell me what you think of them.
Oh, the eldest, the reading boy, is very beautiful. But I can't quite make out his face yet because his head is down and I can't see his eyes. That is the Mr. Osborne Hamley who writes poetry.
Yes. He's not quite so handsome now, but he was a beautiful boy. Roger was never to be compared with him.
No, he is not handsome. And yet I like his face. I can see his eyes. They are grave and solemn looking. But all the rest of his face is rather merry than otherwise. It looks too steady and sober. Too good a face to go tempting his brother to leave his lesson.
Ah, it was not a lesson. I remember the painter, Mr. Green, once saw Osborne reading some poetry while Roger was trying to persuade him to come out and have a ride in the hay cart.
Oh.
That was the motive of the picture, to speak artistically. Roger is not much of a reader. At least he doesn't care for poetry and books of romance or sentiment. He's so fond of natural history, and that takes him, like the squire, a great deal out of doors, and when he is in, he's always reading scientific books.
Goodness.
Oh, he's a good, steady fellow, though, and gives us great satisfaction. but he's not likely to have such a brilliant career as Osborne. Oh, there's the dressing bell, and so soon. How quickly the time has passed away. You had better go to your room, my dear. And I will send one of the maids to assist you.
Oh, thank you. A maid? Oh, dear. I'm afraid they'll expect me to be very smart. Well, if they do, they'll be disappointed, that's all. Oh, but I wish my new plaid silk gown had been ready.
Molly found her way downstairs in good time. They dined at a small table in a great large room. There were so few articles of furniture in it, and the apartment itself was so vast, that Molly longed for the snugness of the home dining room. This formal dinner appeared to her a wearisome business, prolonged because the squire liked it.
Tomorrow, you will have to peel my orange for me, Miss Gibson.
Shall I? I'll do it today if you like, sir.
No. Today I shall treat you as a visitor, with all proper ceremony. Tomorrow I shall send you on errands, and call you by your Christian name.
I shall like that.
Yes, I was wanting to call you something less formal than Miss Gibson.
My name is Molly. It's an old-fashioned name. I was christened Mary, but Papa likes Molly.
That's right. Keep to the good old fashions, my dear.
Well, I must say I think Mary's prettier than Molly. And quite as old a name, too.
I think it was because Mamma was Mary and I was called Molly while she lived.
Ah, poor thing. I remember how sorry everyone was when she died. No one thought she was delicate. She had such a fresh colour, till all at once she popped off, as you may say.
It must have been a terrible blow to your father.
Aye, it came so sudden, so soon after they were married.
I thought it was nearly 4 years.
And 4 years is soon. It's a short time to a couple who look to spending their lifetime together. Everyone thought Gibson would have married again.
Shh.
Well, I'd perhaps better not have said it, but it's the truth. They did. He's not likely to marry now, so one may say it out. Why, your father is past 40, isn't he?
43. I don't believe he ever thought of marrying again.
No, I don't believe he did, my dear. He looks to me just like a man who would be constant to the memory of his wife. You must not mind what the squire says.
Ah. You'd better go away if you're going to teach Miss Gibson such treason as that against the master of the house.
Later that evening, Mr. Gibson called at Hamley House, and to Molly he looked so exactly like his usual self, his home self, that seeing him in the flesh was the most efficacious way of dispelling the phantom fears of a second wedding which were beginning to harass his daughter's mind. And the pleasant conviction that he could not rest till he had come over to see how she was going on in her new home stole into her heart. That night, Molly looked out of her chamber window, leaning on the sill and snuffing up the night odours of the honeysuckle.
I think I shall be very happy here. Yes, very happy. But I wonder, who could he have married? To go back to the day of the election, which I never think of but with pleasure and tears of gratitude for those good times, after the election was quite and clean over, there comes shoals of people from all...
Good morning, my dear.
Oh, how you startled me.
So I did. You jumped as if you had been shot. Sorry, my dear. But look here. It seemed to me that it must be a little dull for you, my girl, all by yourself with nothing but books to look at in the mornings here. But as you know, Madam has a fancy for being quiet in the mornings. She told your father about it, and so did I.
I quite understand, Squire Hamley.
Anyway, I felt a little sorry for you all the same, and so I've come to take you for a little voyage, a voyage of discovery about the gardens and the home fields. What do you say?
I should like that very much.
Good girl. So, put away your book, and we'll start at once. Through the kitchen gardens and out to the little woods. So you don't know my boys even by sight?
No.
I should have thought you would have done, for they're fond enough of riding into Hollingford. And I know Roger has often been to borrow books from your father. Oh. Roger is a scientific sort of fellow. Osborne is clever, like his mother. I shouldn't wonder if he published a book someday. This way. Through the kitchen garden. Look at that. That's the mere. And you see the little island in the middle?
Yes.
We must get you punted over there some of these days. I'm not fond of using the boat at this time of the year because the young birds are still in the nests, among the reeds and water plants. But we'll go sometime. There are coots and grebes.
Look, there's a swan.
Yes. There are 2 pair of them here.
Squire Hamley?
Yes, my dear.
Who did people think Papa would marry that time long ago, soon after Mamma died?
Oh, I'm quite out of breath. Not so young as I used to be. Ah, yes, your papa. I never heard of anyone. His name was never coupled with any ladies. 'Twas only in the nature of things that he should marry again. He may do it yet, for aught I know, and I don't think it would be a bad move either. I told him so the last time but one he was here.
And what did he say?
Oh, he only smiled and said nothing. You shouldn't take up words so seriously, my dear. Very likely he may never think of marrying again, and if he did, it would be a very good thing, both for him and for you. But look, you see those trees? There's both a rookery and a heronry. The herons ought to be here by now. They're off to the sea in August, but I've not seen one yet. Stay! Isn't that one? That fellow on a stone with his long neck bent down, looking into the water?
Oh, yes, I think so. Oh, I've never seen a heron, only pictures of them.
They and the rooks are always at war, which doesn't do for near neighbours. If both herons leave the nest that they are building, the rooks come and tear it to pieces. And once Roger showed me a long straggling fellow of a heron with a flight of rooks after him with no friendly purposes in their mind, I'll be bound. Roger knows a great deal of natural history and finds out queer things sometimes. He'd have been off 12 times during this walk of ours if he'd been here. His eyes are always wandering about and see 20 things where I see only one. And if we came upon such a thing as this little cobweb here, you see it?
Yes.
Why, Roger could tell you what insect or spider made it. It's a pity they don't take honours in natural history at Cambridge. Roger would be safe enough if they did.
Mr. Osborne Hamley is very clever, is he not?
Oh, yes. Osborne's a bit of a genius. His mother looks for great things from Osborne. I'm rather proud of him myself. He'll get a Trinity Fellowship if they play him fair. As I was saying at the magistrates' meeting yesterday, I've got a son who will make a noise at Cambridge, or I'm very much mistaken. Now, isn't it a queer quip of nature that I, a Hamley of Hamley, straight in descent from nobody knows where, the Heptarchy, they say. What's the date of the Heptarchy?
I don't know.
Well, it was some time before King Alfred, because he was the king of all England, you know.
Oh.
But, as I was saying, here I am, of as good and as old a descent as any man in England, and I doubt if a stranger to look at me would take me for a gentleman with my red face, great hands and feet, and 14 stone, never less than 12, even when I was a young man. And there's Osborne, who takes after his mother, who couldn't tell her great-grandfather from Adam, bless her. And Osborne has a girl's delicate face, and a slight make, and hands and feet as small as a lady's. Now, Roger is like me, the Hamley of Hamley, and no one who sees him in the street will ever think that red-brown, big-boned, clumsy chap is of gentle blood. And all those people at Cumnor Towers, Lord and Lady Cumnor, and that son of theirs, Lord Hollingford, that you all make much ado of, are mere muck of yesterday. I was talking to Madam the other day about Osborne's marrying a daughter of Lord Hollingford's. As to say, if he had a daughter, he's only got boys, as it happens. But I'm not sure I should consent to it. I really am not sure, for you see, Osborne will have a first-rate education, and his family dates from the Heptarchy, while I should be glad to know where the Cumnor folk were in the time of Queen Anne.
Oh, look, I can see Hamley House through the trees.
So you can, my dear, for we walked in a great circle. No? I'm sure I should have looked higher. So perhaps it's as well my Lord Hollingford has only boys. Well, now, my dear, thank you for your company. It's been a charming little walk. Charming. Now you run on to the house, for I'm sure that by this time Madam will be up and dressed and most glad of your company. Off you go.
I will. And thank you for showing me the heron, Squire Hamley.
Yeah. That's a nice girl of Gibson's. But what a tight hold the wench got of the notion of his marrying again. One'd need to be on one's guard as to what one says before her. To think of her never having thought of the chance of a stepmother. To be sure, a stepmother to a girl is a different thing to a second wife to a man.
If Squire Hamley had been unable to tell Molly who had ever been thought of as her father's second wife, Fate was all this time preparing an answer of a pretty positive kind to her wondering curiosity. But Fate is a cunning hussy, and builds up her plans as imperceptibly as a bird builds her nest, and with much the same kind of unconsidered trifles. The first trifle of an event was the disturbance that Mr. Gibson's cook chose to make at Bethia's being dismissed. Down into the middle of this small domestic trouble came another, and one of greater consequence. Miss Eyre had gone with her old mother and her orphan nephews and nieces to the seaside during Molly's absence, which was only intended to last a fortnight. After about 10 days of this time had elapsed, Mr. Gibson received a beautifully written, beautifully worded, admirably folded, and most neatly sealed letter from Miss Eyre.
And since my eldest nephew has fallen ill of scarlet fever, and while there is every possibility that the younger children will be attacked by the same complaint, I can only apologize with humble sincerity for my inability to return at the appointed time. Scarlet fever. Still, perhaps it's just as well, for Molly has never had scarlet fever. All the same, first Bethia, then cook, now this. I wish I had a £5 house and not a woman within 10 miles of me. I might have some peace then. Well, Molly must stay a little longer at Hamley. They've often asked for her, and now they'll have enough of her, I think. But I can't have her back here just yet.
And there. No, to the left.
This one?
Good girl.
Hi, Molly. You're quite a horticulturist.
Papa! Oh, I didn't see you coming.
Mr. Gibson, how nice. And just when we've got a rose tree to show you that Molly has budded all by herself.
It's true, Papa. We're both so proud of it.
That's very nice, but,
Why, Mr. Gibson, what is the matter? You look quite grim.
well, well, I've come here today to ask a favour.
Granted, before you name it.
Miss Eyre, who has been Molly's governess, I suppose I must call her, for many years, writes today to say that one of the little nephews she took with her to Newport while Molly was staying here has caught scarlet fever.
Oh, I guess your request. I make it before you do. I beg for dear little Molly to stay on here. Of course Miss Eyre can't come back to you, and of course Molly must stay here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was my request.
Papa, Mrs. Hamley, I know you'll both understand me. Mayn't I go home?
Molly.
Oh, I'm very happy here, but, oh, Papa, I think I should like to be at home with you best.
Molly, you're rude, to begin with. I don't know how you're to make your peace with Mrs. Hamley, I'm sure. And in the next place, do you think you're wiser than I am? Or I don't want you at home if all things were comfortable. Stay here where you are and be thankful.
Oh, Mrs. Hamley, I did not mean to be
There, my dear, I understand. I was going to have asked for a longer visit the next time you came, Mr. Gibson. We are such happy friends, are we not, Molly? And now that this good little nephew of Miss Eyre's...
I wish he was whipped.
...has given us such a capital reason, I shall keep Molly for a really long visitation. You must come over and see us very often. There's a room here for you always, you know. And I don't see why you shouldn't start on your rounds from Hamley every morning, just as well as from Hollingford.
Thank you. If you hadn't been so kind to my little girl, I might be tempted to say something rude in answer to your last speech.
Pray say it. You won't be easy till you've given it out, I know.
Mrs. Hamley has found out from whom I get my rudeness. It's an hereditary quality.
I was going to say that proposal of yours that I should sleep at Hamley was just like a woman's idea, all kindness and no common sense. How in the world would My patients find me out 7 miles from my accustomed place. They'd be sure to send for some other doctor, and I should be ruined in a month.
Couldn't they send on here? A messenger costs very little.
Fancy old Goody Hembury struggling up to my surgery, groaning at every step, and then being told to just step on 7 miles farther. Or to take the other end of society. I don't think my Lady Cumnor's smart groom would thank me for having to ride on to Hamley every time his mistress wanted me at Cumnor Towers.
Well, I submit. I am a woman. Molly, thou art a woman. Go and order some strawberries and cream for this father of yours. Such humble offices fall within the province of women. Strawberries and cream are all kindness and no common sense, for they'll give him a horrid fit of indigestion.
Please speak for yourself, Mrs. Hamley. I ate, such a great basketful yesterday, and the squire went himself to the dairy and brought out a great bowl of cream, and I'm as well as ever I was.
Enough. Off you go.
Yes, Papa.
She's a good girl.
She's a darling. I cannot tell you how fond the squire and I are of her, both of us. I'm so delighted to think she isn't to go away for a long time. The first thing I thought of this morning when I wakened up was that she would soon have to return to you, unless I could persuade you into leaving her with me a little longer. And now she must stay. 2 months at least.
Stay longer? Did Gibson ask for it?
Yes. I don't see what else is to become of her. Miss Eyre away and all. It's a very awkward position for a motherless girl like her to be at the head of a household with 2 young men in it.
That's Gibson's lookout. He should have thought of it before taking pupils or apprentices or whatever he calls them.
My dear squire, why, I thought you'd be as glad as I was, as I am, to keep Molly. I asked her to stay for an indefinite time, 2 months at least.
And to be in the house with Osborne? Roger, too, will be at home.
Oh, she's not at all the sort of girl young men of their age would take to. We like her because we see what she really is, but lads of 1 and 2 and 20 want all the accessories of a young woman.
Want what?
Well, such things as becoming dress, style of manner. They would not at their age see that she was pretty. Their ideas of beauty would include colour.
I suppose that's all very clever, but I don't understand it. All I know is that it's a very dangerous thing to shut up 2 young men in a country house like this with a girl of 17. Choose what her gowns may be like, or her hair, or her eyes. And I told you particularly I didn't want Osborne, or either of them indeed, to be falling in love with her. I am very much annoyed.
Then, shall we make arrangements for their stopping away while she's here? We're staying up at Cambridge or reading with someone. Going abroad for a month or 2.
No. You've been reckoning this ever so long on their coming home. I've seen the marks of the weeks on your almanac. I'd sooner speak to Gibson and tell him he must take his daughter away, for it's not convenient to us.
My dear Roger, I beg you would do no such thing. It will be so unkind. It'll give the lie to all I said yesterday. Don't please do that. For my sake, don't speak to Mr. Gibson.
Well, don't put yourself in a flutter. I'll speak to Osborne when he comes home and tell him how much I should dislike anything of that kind.
And Roger is always far too full of his natural history and comparative anatomy and messes of that sort to be thinking of falling in love with Venus herself. He has not the sentiment and imagination of Osborne.
You don't know. You can never be sure about a young man. But with Roger, it wouldn't so much signify. He would know he couldn't marry for years to come.
All that afternoon the squire tried to steer clear of Molly, to whom he felt himself to have been an inhospitable traitor. But she was so perfectly unconscious of his shyness of her, and so merry, that by the next morning they were quite on the old terms again. At breakfast that very morning, a letter was passed from the squire to his wife, and back again, without a word as to its contents. But...
Fortunate.
Yes, very. Oh, Molly, my dear, I have some rather sad news. Osborne has received an invitation to stay with a friend at Cambridge, and perhaps to make a tour of the continent, so you will not be accompanying Roger home this vacation.
Oh, dear, I'm so sorry. You've been thinking so long of his coming home. I'm afraid it is a great disappointment.
Yes, it is a disappointment, certainly. But we must think of Osborne's pleasure, and with his poetical mind he will write us such delightful travelling letters. Only I should like to have seen him, my own dear boy.
but it's best as it is.
Molly was a little puzzled by this speech, but soon put it out of her head. It was a disappointment to her, too, that she should not see this beautiful, brilliant young man, his mother's hero. However, in the never-ending feminine business of the day, she soon forgot her disappointment. Her days at Hamley were well filled up with the small duties that would have belonged to a daughter of the house, had there been one. The summer days were very short to this happy girl of 17.
In the first episode of Elizabeth Gaskell's Wives and Daughters, dramatised in 9 episodes by Barry Campbell, the part of Molly Gibson was played by Catherine Hurlbut, Mr. Gibson, Tom Wilkinson, Clare, Angela Pleasance, Squire Hamley, Robert Lang, Mrs. Hamley, Lilias Walker, Lady Cuxhaven, Anna Fox, Mr. Cox, Alex Jennings, Bethiah, Pauline Siddle, Maid, Carol Boyd, and Thelma Whiteley was Mrs. Gaskell. The music was composed by Rachel Portman, and the director was Jane Morgan.